it's that card girl, and today we're gonna finally be taking a look at the Gundam card deck Starter Deck 5 Iron Bloom. Hans, where's the Iron Bloom starter deck? Hans has really been looking forward to us finally being able to get our hands on this starter deck. So when we found it at our LGS, we had to pick up two so he'd be able to make a good deck out of it. And this is the purple and white starter deck. This is the deck that introduced purple. On the back, it gives you a bit of a rundown of what all comes inside of it, although it does not include a full deck list. But it does let you know in its fine print that God decks are a possibility. So let's go ahead and get into this and see if we got a God deck. And, so we can take a look at the deck in general. While I'm working on getting into the box though, I do want to mention this is the deck that introduced Iron-Blooded Orphans into the Gundam card game. Which is one of the reasons Hans and I were both really excited to get our hands on this one. Now that the box is open though, let's get a quick overview of what all comes inside. We have our Paper Playmat Quick Start Guide, and our Iron Bloom bonus pack that includes a plus version of any of the cards inside the deck. And this is not a God deck, but hey, it's still going to be super enjoyable to play with. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at what all comes inside this deck. We have what I call our deck sandwich, which is our 50 card deck with our resources and tokens at the back. But let's get that plastic wrap off and see exactly what cards come in this thing. Starting with 2 copies of the purple 4-cost level 6 LR Gundam Barbatos 4th form, 2 copies of our white LR, the 3-cost level 4 McGillis' Schwabel Greys. On to our non-LR purple units, we've got 4 copies of the 2-cost level 4 Gundam Barbatos 2nd form. I love that you get 4 copies of the 2nd form and 2 copies of the 4th form. We get 4 1-cost level 1 CGS Mobile Workers, 4 1-cost level 2 Greys Customs, 4 3-cost level 4 Gundam Gusion Rebakes, 3 2-cost level 3 Hyakurans, 'Moving on to our white units, we have 4 copies of the 2-cost level 3 Greys Commander type, and 3 copies of the 1-cost level 2 Greys. On to our purple pilots, we've got 4 of the 1-cost level 4 Mikazuki August, and 3 of the 1-cost level 3 Akihiro Altland. And then we have 3 copies of our 1-cost level 4 white pilot McGillis Farid. Now we have our purple command cards, starting with 2 copies of the 1-cost level 2 with Iron and Blood, and 2 copies of the 2-cost level 4 Fatal Strike. We have 4 copies of the purple 1-cost level 3 base Isaribi, and then we have 2 copies of the white 1-cost level 3 command card Unforeseen Incident. And of course we have our 10 resource cards, 1 EX base, and 1 EX resource. Then we've got our cardboard damage markers, with this starter giving us 4 1s, 2 2s, 1 3, 1 4, 1 AP -3, 1 AP +3, 1 AP +2, and 1 AP +1. You put all of those together and we have our 50 card deck with all of our resources that are necessary to play. But let's go ahead and take a bit of a deeper dive into this deck and see what exactly some of these cards do. Starting with our purple LR unit, Gundam Barbatos 4th form, this unit has 4 attack and 5 health. When you deploy this Barbatos, you'll deal 1 damage to another unit of yours, but then you get to add 1 to its AP, which is its attack points. So you're dealing damage to your own unit, but then that unit will be able to deal more damage to enemy units. When you pair your Gundam Barbatos 4th form to its link pair pilot Mikazuki, it will gain an additional 2 attack and 1 health. And Mikazuki, when paired, has you choose one of your units and one enemy unit, and you'll deal 1 damage to both. And for the record, you do have to be able to deal damage to both your own unit and an enemy unit for this. So if your opponent doesn't have a unit out, you can't get Mikazuki's when pairing effect. Now, why exactly are you going to want to deal damage to your own units? Well, for example, this unit gets suppression when it's damaged. And if I'm remembering correctly, suppression was introduced with this deck. So what is suppression? Well, when a unit with suppression attacks an enemy shield, it damages the first 2 shields instead of just 1. Let's move on to another unit and its link pair pilot. McGillis's Schwabble Graze has 4 attack points and 2 health points, and it's a blocker. Whenever you pair it, you get to choose a level 3 or lower enemy unit to give -2 AP to. And then we have McGillis Farid, who is the link pair pilot for this unit. When you pair McGillis to his unit, it gives the unit +2 AP and +1 HP, making it a 6 AP, 3 HP unit. If you have at least 2 Gallahorn or Tekkadan units in play, then you get to take an enemy unit that has 3 or less HP and rest it. Now, let's take a look at the Gundam Guxian Rebake with 3 AP and 4 HP. When this unit is destroyed, you get to take an enemy unit that has 4 or less AP and rest it. Its link pair pilot is Akihiro Altland, who gives the unit an additional 1 AP and HP. Now, all 3 of the pilots that we talked about have the same burst effect that all the pilots that I've seen so far have, which just means that you add it to your hand. When these 2 are paired and you use this unit to destroy an enemy unit using battle damage, you get to take a level 2 or lower Tekkadan unit from your trash and add it to your hand. And you get this effect even if both units are destroyed during the battle. Now, let's move on to our command cards and our base. If you notice, we don't have Unforeseen Incident up to talk about, and that's because we talked about it back whenever we covered Starter Deck 1. This Unforeseen Incident has different artwork, but is still the same card. So let's talk about with Iron and Blood. You can use this card during your main phase or the action phase, and you'll deal 1 damage to one of your units, and in exchange you get to give it an additional 3 AP for the turn. Fatal Strike has both a burst effect and a main phase effect. If you get this card from your shields and use its burst effect, then you deal 1 damage to 1 enemy unit. And during your main phase, if you choose to use Fatal Strike, then you take a level 3 or lower enemy unit and destroy it. Our Isarivi base has 5 HP, and its burst effect has you deploy this card, like most of the shield cards I've seen do. Now, when you deploy this base, you add 1 shield to your hand, and then during your main phase, you can rest this base to give an additional 2 AP to one of your damaged units. And this is one of those cards where your turn order matters because you can give that +2 AP to one of your damaged units and have another effect heal that unit from its damage, and you're still going to keep that AP +2. Overall, this is a super fun deck that finally gave Hans and I that iron-blooded orphan love that we'd been looking for in this card game. And honestly, I'm super excited to get to play against this deck once Hans finishes building it. Now, we haven't forgotten about that bonus pack with the plus version of any of the cards that came in this deck, but before we get to opening it, I do want to remind you we put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with shorts on Sundays. We focus mainly on Gundam, One Piece, Lorcana, and Pokemon. And don't forget to follow us over on Instagram if you haven't already at thatcardgirl.tcg. There's a link for it down in the description. And speaking of links in the description, there's a link for our Discord channel there as well. But I think it's finally time to see what plus card I got. Holy cow! No way. It's the LR Plus Gundam Barbatos 4th form. This card is just so gorgeous. And for the record, this is the card that's going to be staring back at you whenever you open the box up if you got a God deck. Okay Hans, what card did you get in the deck you opened for yourself? The Isaribi base. Not bad, but a bit of a letdown after I just pulled that Barbatos. Hey, at least you picked a good one to open up off camera, I guess. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell your favorite pretty boy about us. That Card Girl out!